Hey there, welcome to another Create This Book episode. Now, I do have to preface this one by saying I was playing on my book yesterday. I had some extra time and I thought, let's see what I can come up with. And the results are mixed. I think more than the end result here, what I did yesterday was play with my book and try to find creative ideas, which is what I do with the book mostly. But you're going to be the judge of what I made. I think it's the end result is
not as great as it could be.
But I was really concentrating on these ideas that the prompts gave me. I'm not following them strictly, to say the least. But this is how I got inspired, so let me show you what I made. Okay, as always, here's the book, and let me find the prompts I'm going to do today. First off is create a screenshot. Now, the prompt clearly states to document the text conversation from your phone. But as soon as I saw this, I thought about having a character showing its phone and whatever it had on the screen, which should have been a conversation, but we'll get to that. I started by drawing the character holding the phone on an extra page because I had to cover my mess from the past. And also because I knew this was going to be kind of awkward to draw and a little difficult for me. I wanted the drawing to be a full spread and occupy both pages, and I also wanted the phone to take almost a whole page. Now, while I was sketching, the phone turned into a flip phone and not a modern phone, which was the idea I had on my original sketch in my sketchbook. Why did I turn the phone into a flip phone, you might ask? Well, because I thought it would be fun to have the phone open. So I had my basic sketch, but I didn't really have a character. I had something similar to a blob person. I didn't know what I wanted this character to be, so I brought in my spinner from the book back again to help me choose what to draw. Now, every time I've done this, my hand covers how I flip the paper clip and you can't see it. So I thought maybe it was time to add a brad to this page and just have it properly spin. I also cut a proper arrow from a piece of cardboard and wrapped it with packing tape so it would last longer. Punch a little hole on it for it to be able to move. And I was also going to make a new hole in the middle of my spinner with a cutting knife, but then I decided it was going to be easier to just fold the paper in half and punch the hole out. Since the paper is protected with packing tape already, it didn't leave a crease. Okay, so now with the three pieces ready, I put the brad through the paper, gave it a try, make a little adjustment of the brad's legs, that sounds weird, and it works well. So here it goes, first spin, and it goes all the way around and lands on the pig where it started. So that's what I'm gonna make. I bring back the paper and start turning the character into a pig, and after drawing and erasing some, I end up with a character I do like. I stained the page a lot with erasing and drawing, so I decided to trace it on a fresh piece of paper, which I somehow managed to instantly stain. Oh well, clean it up, finish drawing the pig, and it's time to color it. The coloring is pretty basic, so I'm just going to do a little art montage for you to see the process. Little Piggy is done, and because sometimes I have trouble with the packing tape on my pages, I decided to mod page this one and let it dry while I work on the phone. I've got the flip phone out of cardstock here, and it's pretty simple, and then I just went ahead and drew some details on it. At this point, I thought maybe having the phone just open to show a conversation or something wasn't fun enough, so I took inspiration from card making again and thought I would have a message pop up. To create this, I cut some extra pieces of teal paper, an extra rectangle, and a long strip of paper. I also made a little envelope from white paper by cutting a heart and folding it in. To make this work, I thought I needed to cut a slit big enough to allow the envelope to pop through. So I cut that out and then glued the envelope and the long strip to my phone. It's so hard to explain my process, what was going on, and how it's supposed to work, but just trust me when I say I was confused and taking a long time to figure things out. Probably much more confused than you are now with my voiceover. I folded the rectangle piece and created two flaps for it to glue to the phone. Put the envelope through, gluing everything together, and when I open it, it's not really working. And now that I'm editing, I think the only problem was actually that the envelope was getting stuck and I just needed to change the strip to a longer one. But I trashed everything because I thought everything was wrong. So I cut another piece of cardboard in a rectangle again, and this time I only make a slit big enough for the strip of paper to go through. Once I have it all together, I realize the strip of paper is too short because once I close the phone, it goes in and won't come out again. So I left the rectangle part there glued because I know that part works, and I just made a longer strip to go in there. I glue the new strip, cut it to size so it hides when the phone closes, and I bring back the envelope. And then, of course, I realize I was right on the first try, and the slit does need to be big enough for the envelope to go back in. Okay, so now it works. And I know I showed you the process in like a couple of minutes, but it took me at least an hour to get this right. Anyhow, I paint my phone with some paint markers, glue my little piggy in, which looks terrible because the paper was way too thin to Mod Podge and it's very wrinkly. I hate it. But I choose to carry on and glue my phone in so it kind of looks like it's holding it. Kinda? No, not at all. Well, I don't know how I went so far from my original sketch, which actually worked, but okay. Carried on with my idea by painting a notification on the little screen of the flip phone, and I tried to make everything match a little better by adding color pencil to the phone and outlining the pig with a thicker marker. But it's still not looking cohesive. It's not the greatest page I've made or the greatest pig I've drawn, but what can I tell you? I had an idea and I just wanted it to work somehow. I really like the pig's face, but I wish I gave it more character, maybe accessories, I don't know. At this point, I wanted to move on, so I actually didn't even record the end result, but no worries, I'll show you at the end of the video what I put in that envelope. I was kind of frustrated with how long that one took, so just like that, we're on the second prompt that says create a menu. Make your own restaurant menu and don't forget to give your restaurant a name. Did I even read or comprehend that prompt? I don't know. What I know is that I brought in an extra piece of cardstock again and I had this idea, which I should have tested at this point, I know. But I was confident again that it was going to work, but it didn't. I folded my pink paper in a way where it opens like a menu, but the middle part sort of pops up. Can you see? I also cut 3 pieces of white paper that I'm going to glue to the folds for the pop-up effect to be a little bit more obvious. Again, I'm having a really hard time explaining this, so it's good this is a video, right? I wanted to add images for my menu on the rest of the pink paper, so I traced the layout to figure out how much space I had to draw on. And I think it's time for me to explain what my menu is about. One of my absolute dreams is to someday open an ice cream parlor. Now, I want it to be different from everything I've seen, of course. I want the ice cream to be super healthy, but at the same time super tasty, because I know you can do it. I've tried some and I made some at home. I also want the ice cream to be plant-based. Although I'm not vegan anymore, I'm a vegetarian, and I rather have ice cream that has no milk on it, because as I get older, milk is starting to not be my friend. Let's leave it at that. And of course, you know, the environmental impact of being plant-based is important to me. Another thing I would want is for the serving presentation to be super creative, so even putting together your order would be somewhat of an experience. Like this shop in Spain, Barcelona, creative name and creative packaging for the ketos, see? That being said, I think a concept like this takes a long time to develop and investigate and whatever. I have things I've started to look into, but I'm nowhere even close to being able to do a proper manual or a proper concept or a proper menu. So I decided to go back to the ice cream blobs that I did on my shrink plastic DIY pins video because I did love them so much. So I designed these 2 cups, or these 2 combinations of ice cream, one in a cone and one in a cup. They are super playful and make no sense whatsoever. Fruit and ice cream both have eyes and it's just all over the place, but I love it. I had so much fun drawing these 2. I went over everything with a pen, erased my guidelines, and again it's time to color. So again, I'm going to leave you with another art montage of me using markers and coloring pens to bring them to life. Once I was done coloring them, I protected them with packing tape. Also, because the packing tape is something that allows you to cut little details much better. It's easier. I don't know why, but I do it. So I cut everything, even those tiny drops of chocolate that were falling off to this guy onto his friend. I glued them both in my menu, and then I started thinking what I was going to write on the menu itself. And because, like I said before, I didn't have a complete idea of what I wanted to say, I went very, very general. So I wrote things to kind of encompass my concept, make your own sweet memory with us, all natural flavors. Oh, all natural Oh, damn. I just noticed I wrote favors and not flavors, and I'm just noticing that now. So sorry. Anyhow, it was supposed to be a little something to show you the general idea for my business and concepts. So who knows? Maybe you'll get favors in the middle of the ice cream and you'll find a little surprise. I don't know. Anyhow, traced everything I wrote with a pen and added a little color with the markers, and I was done. So I glued my menu into my book and it didn't work. The page wouldn't open properly, so I had to unglue one side, and that left the mark of the glue. At this point, I was exhausted. I think I spent maybe 6 hours on all of this, and I don't know why it took me so long to figure out things yesterday, but I just decided it was time for me to wrap it up. So I printed a pattern from the internet, pasted it there, and pasted some on the back of the paper that also got damaged from the glue. And then all you have to do is when you open the page is kind of make your pop-up menu pop by itself. What can I say? I warned you in my intro, this wasn't my best result so far. I tried, but at the end, my creative solutions weren't the best and I didn't have the most neat results. I do love my ice cream creatures though, so if there's anything in this video that you enjoyed, please let me know. As well, if you have any ideas, I would love to read them in your comments below. Another thing I wanted to show you is how thick my book is getting, and I'm not even halfway through. How far will it grow? Will it even close when I finish it? Who knows? But anyhow, here again are the prompts I was able to go through today. Really sorry I didn't get to a third one like I always do, but I literally ran out of time. So here's my little pig with a pop-up message that says I love you in the envelope. My pop-up menu, I guess it's a brochure now, and that's it for today. With that, I hope you're having a wonderful day and that I'll see you next time. Bye!